Welcome to Susie's Enchanted Crossroads, a podcast that helps you navigate your journey through the crossroads. I'm Susie, and together we will be taking a deeper look into witchcraft and spirituality. So settle in, and let's get this episode going. We are in season 2. Oh my gosh. Season 2, you guys. And I'm going to kick this off by just saying thank you for listening. Hey, it's Susie, and I made myself a little intro. I was like, what am I going to bring that's a little different to season 2? And I just had so many ideas. And this is part of my little squiggly brain. What else can I do? I want to do all the things right now. And then I had to stop and pause. And not because I was stopping and pausing because I am just that wise. No. Actually, the universe. The universe. And what I mean by that is, okay, a lot of things were going down and I I honestly wasn't going to take the little break that I did. I probably foreshadowed that when I made my thank you to y'all for the 1K downloads. And I probably knew ahead of time, to be really honest. And it just, oh my goodness. I was very much in my head about it. So that's what we're going to talk about on this first episode of season 2. Because what I'm getting collectively is that we're all kind of going through it. Not even that we're going through it, it's what we're feeling in the background as well. What we're feeling as, the heavy energy and the I need to keep going, going, going. And it's like I tell my clients, you are a human being, not a human doing, right? And we're not machines. And I don't know if you've actually seen the video that was going around. It's an older video by now, but some AI machine, okay, was given the tasks that a normal person, 9 to 5 task, and that it broke down within, I don't know, some weird, like an hour, maybe 3 hours tops. It just went into a corner and it died. And if that isn't fitting on what we have to go through, what is it unfairly expected of us, I don't know what is. So as we begin this new season together, I pulled some cards ahead of time. I have my cup of coffee, and in the mug it says happy. And I love mugs. I love coffee mugs, right? I'm a collector of sorts, but I was like, what mug am I gonna choose today? And I was like, you know what, happy. And to be very transparent, it's already 8 o'clock at night here. It's already 8 o'clock at night. And yes, I love my little cafecito at night. No, it doesn't keep me up. It's a comfort. And just because I love a good hot beverage. So thank you so much for joining me here at season 2. Thank you so much for all of your love and the likes and the messages and hitting 1K downloads for season 1. And I'm excited to be here in season 2. So before we even start getting into the cards and giving ourselves a little grace, let's take a deep breath together. Let's place our feet flat on the floor if you can, wherever you're at. Just feel the shoulders drop from the ears, just giving space, unclenching your jaw, relaxing the eyebrows, really feeling where you are connected to the support beneath you. And let's take a big deep breath in And exhale out the mouth. Just really feeling our bodies arrive, being in this moment. And I want to show gratitude to you, lovely listener, and gratitude for myself. Okay. All right. So, season two of Susie's Enchanted Crossroads. When we're at the crossroads, it's almost like that being stuck between a rock and a hard place. That's what it feels like, right? And when you're at the crossroads, you're in this liminal space. And this is where we really can see this is like a door between worlds. And that can be kind of scary, especially when we are in our comfort zone, in our protective little box, right? And when we're at the crossroads, we see that we have choices in front of us. And when we feel like we're stuck, what's really happening here is that our beautiful brains are trying to protect us. And though this might just be two different paths, nothing too scary. The option is, you're making a choice here, but your beautiful brain doesn't understand the difference of that and what my Reiki master, what Molly would say, or being chased by a tiger. And that's because that's that fear, right? It's like, oh my gosh, what if I make the wrong choice? What if I do this and then that happens? But if I do this over here, something else happens. So we begin to spiral and we're stuck in a loop. And instead of making a choice or instead of making a clear-cut decision, we stay still at the crossroads. And it's fine to maybe take five, take a breath, reassess, maybe look at a decision from a different point of view. No one's saying that I'm not saying to rush, full steam ahead if you feel you need to take the time. But there's a delicate, just like that little line where we take a breath and kind of take a step back and really weigh out the options and then just staying there for a little too long, taking more time. And then we allow maybe that fear or that uncomfiness to really settle in a little bit deeper. And then it starts to anchor us. And before we know it, we're anchored in that fear of the unknown. And before we know it, we begin to root ourselves there. And if you've ever let like maybe a weed go a little too far, right? It's grown a little too deep. And some of those weeds are just suckers, man. They get those roots and they are hunkered down. It takes a little bit of time and some work to really get down to the root. Now, I know this season I want to really get into the chakras so we can really talk about the importance of grounding in the root and going into the moon phases. Because just like the different phases of the moon, you also go through different phases. And that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. That's how we continue to grow. So when I made the decision of Susie's Enchanted Crossroads, believe you me, I was at the crossroads. And I was, and I felt like I need this sign. Send me a sign if I should be doing this. And I would get the sign, okay? And when I got that sign, I thought, I'm just seeing what I want to see. There's the excuse, right? That can't be right. I'm asking for a sign and I actually get it. There's no way. And then I would get another sign until it was surrounding me and I couldn't not miss it. Because I know sometimes our spirit guides be sending us messages, right? And it's like, I don't understand what you're trying to tell me. What is it? When I was truly stuck, when I felt that I was truly stuck, it wasn't that I didn't have a choice, it's that I was afraid of the choice that I was going to make. And I will get into that probably in another episode so this doesn't get a little too long drawn because that's how I found myself. And as I look back at past Susie, at the time I felt like I was so weak and so stupid and so blind. But now I look at her with a different lens of kindness. And damn, you are so strong. And you are just so kind-hearted. And also a little naive. But because I really wanted to see the best in people, I was being taken advantage of. But it's almost like I refused to see it because it was from people that I loved. And what? No, there's no way that someone that's either family or friends would really truly think of me that way or take advantage of me in this way. But it happens. And that's where I was. And now, as I was coming into, okay, season two, what is Susan Enchanted Crossroads about? And not just the podcast, but my business and who I am and who is Susie. I'm here to guide you on your path so it doesn't feel so lonely. Because, yeah, sometimes you trek the path of the crossroads on your own. And sometimes you start off with a good friend, but at some point you have to make the steps. And sometimes, oh man, that journey can feel so lonely, even if you're surrounded by so many people, right? But on this path, on this spiritual journey where you're asking questions, where you're seeking out, where you're trying to find your true self, and you have all these questions, I would love to be the one that you can turn to maybe when you don't have anyone around that you can ask. Because that's how I felt. I felt that. I felt like I have all these questions popping up, but I don't know where I'm at. Like, there's not really, I can just, you know, stroll down the street and there's like a witchy fair or anything like that, to be very honest. I'd be lucky if I can find a yoga studio, close to me. So, in order to find someone trustworthy, I really had to go through this journey pretty much alone. And I've made and lost friends along the way. But then I truly was feeling a little bit more at home in my body and in my mind. So as you listen to this podcast, I'm going to, bring up stories and answer your questions, but truly what my whole thought process of this was I didn't just want to be another podcast because there's so many out there, right? And there's so many good ones and not so good ones, but the I wanted to be part of that mix so that maybe you come across one of my episodes and you maybe feel seen or heard, or you had that question and I answered it for you. Or maybe it sparks another question and you feel comfortable enough to reach out. Links in the show notes. Hit me up on my emails or on my socials, whatever. And that's part of this family that I found. And in good old Mexican fashion, right? In good old Hispanic, Latino fashion, pull up a chair, bestie. You have a seat. Let me get you a plate. Yeah, this is your family. We take care of each other. So don't want you to feel like you're ever being judged or anything like that. That's why I feel so passionately about what I do. And I love teaching. And I would love to guide you on your journey, whether you're just starting out or you've been on this path for a while now. So let's get to these tarot card readings. So I love tarot and I love doing spell work. And as I was thinking about when do I start recording and all that good stuff, which I'll get into in a bit, I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe it's just a sign from the universe again because Mercury was still in retrograde and now we are free. Freedom. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, thank goodness. It's like I can catch my breath from Mercury retrograde. Venus is still in retrograde, but man, closing out that eclipse season because it rocked me to my core, y'all. I don't know about you. And as I'm recording tonight, we have the super pink moon. So bright, so beautiful outside in the sign of Libra. So, what a way to get my butt in gear, huh? And to be honest, as I woke up, I was in a crabby mood, but just almost embracing it. You know what I mean? And my emotions. And I finished a book last night and I'm starting a new one. And now I'm starting season 2 of my podcast. It's like the beginnings. So I pulled some cards and just, what is the vibe for season 2 of Susie's Enchanted Crossroads podcast? Right away, Ace of Pentacles came out. Hell yeah. I'm a Virgo, all about that stability because the past, what, 7, 8 weeks have been complete opposite. It's turned my world upside down. It's made me see things through a different lens, which I'll talk about here in a bit. And I just felt like my whole world was out of whack, like just super out of balance. So to see the Ace of Pentacles, a new start, it's like that just laying down the foundation, sturdy, nice and flat, even, makes me feel like, yes, this is like that foundation is set and I'm ready to lay the first brick down. And then I asked, well, why is this the message? And then I have the Queen of Pentacles and the Star. And I should preface that in case you wanted to see the cards, I pulled from the Modern Witch. And for the Queen of Pentacles, being that nurturing energy and being that comfort, being almost like this mug of coffee, just a nice hot cup of like feeling that embrace, feeling at home, feeling comfortable. Like we can sit and chit chat for hours. And then the star, n with numerology, this number has just been my stalker number for a long time. But to see the star, it makes me feel like this is, even though this is season 2, it's not like a brand new journey like the Fool, but it is nonetheless a new journey because it is a new season. And I have learned so much, even within the short break that I took, and learned so much from all of last year, season 1, and when I had my previous podcast. Just learning and taking things in stride and just finding who I am to guide you. And also, to be very honest, it's almost like I'm guiding myself to be honest, because I do listen to the episodes normally just to make sure that I'm not saying and have like these long ass pauses because I do sometimes stop and think and I try to fix those best I can. But honestly, I rarely ever do any edits. And you're probably like, yeah, no shit, we can tell. But I don't do a lot of edits unless like I royally fucked up, like I got tongue tied or Cody's been scratching at the door or whatever, right? And so everything you listen, it's like recorded, uploaded, done. I don't edit. 'Cause this is just a one girl run company here, okay? I don't have anyone helping me just yet. I haven't gotten to that point just yet. But now as I sit here and I listen to these episodes, it's almost like it's not even me. And I don't know if that makes sense to anyone. Because I know sometimes when you can listen to yourself like talk like on a recording, sometimes it's like, ooh, cringy. But once I take off the very judgmental, critical lens that I can be towards myself as a Virgo, right? I stop and I actually listen to the information that I had gathered and researched and made sure that it comes out clear and you understand it. And sometimes I'm like, you know what? Let me go back to this episode because what did I say about cleansing and grounding? Or damn, it's Thursday today and I'm really feeling a call to do a money bowl, like to refresh my money bowl. I know it's Jupiter's day. What did this episode say about that? And so as I'm listening, sometimes I'm just channeling the messages. And I'm just like, damn, who the hell was that? That was me? Hell yeah. Um, so these episodes also help me go through that process. Even though, y'all, I already know how to cleanse and ground. You know what I mean? I know how to cast a circle, but sometimes re-listening to see what else came through is almost like, oh shit, that's right. Because sometimes we just get stuck in our own routine, right? This is just what I always do. I always do it this way. And when we see there's like a difference or someone else mentions they do it another way, or we see a video, then we're like, oh, I never thought of doing that. Let me try that out and see how it feels. So to see the Ace of Pentacles as this is a fresh start, the Queen of Pentacles, that nurturing, that kindness, and just bringing that type of energy with the star coming after a tower moment, which in all honesty, that's how it felt. Not this podcast was like not on steady foundation, but in the in between, that liminal space between ending season one and starting season two. Like I can do this. I can continue to do this, but when life happens, it's just regaining our footing, dusting ourselves off, and finding the balance once again. We might be sore from being knocked on our knee, right? Like and being knocked on our ass. Feels a little sore. It's not going to feel the best, but you know what? You can, clean off the skin knees, dust off the shoulders, band-aid, pop some ibuprofen or Tylenol. You know what? We're good. We're moving forward. We're not going to stop. We're going to continue trudging on because this is what I love doing and I missed it. I'm going to take a little sip of my coffee and let's maybe drink some water today too. I have had my water. I have had my water. Okay. So, Susie, what are you rambling on about? What happened? Tell us the tea. All right, here's what happened. In the start of 2025, I'm always effing busy, but I like to have my episodes because this spiritual work brings me peace and gives me that energy. Like I'm like, oh yes, it's almost like when your phone is like on 2% and then you click on the quick charger and it doesn't get you all the way to 100, but you just have that boost of energy. That's how I would feel. And so I had some things happen, not to me, like, and everyone's okay, but as far as family, Um, medically, there was stuff going on in the background. Everyone's okay, but in order to come together and help each other out, taking shifts, that's what was going on in the background. So my normal routine of everyday life was disrupted. And when it was disrupted, I didn't account for the timing. I didn't think it was going to be that long. Um, but it was. It did. And then we had to figure out, at least here, I told my husband, well, I'm not going to be here this day, this day, this day. So, you make dinner, clean up house, whatever. And while I was out of my home, so it wasn't like I could, I mean, I ended up doing so, but, taking, some tarot cards, still doing a couple of readings when I could. And then I got hit with lack of bookings, right? So I offer Reiki the first and third Wednesday of every month. And it's via Zoom. It's distance Reiki. So if you were interested in it, but it's either out of your price range for one-on-one, or you didn't really know what it was, so you were curious, it's at a discounted price because I open it up. So it's to, there could be seven people on a call, or it could be two people. Right. But the comfort is that you're in your own space. You don't have to have your camera on, and I lead you through a guided Reiki meditation. Well, I was disheartened when I wasn't getting any bookings. And I was confused because I was like, well, these were going great when I started offering them last year in 2024. So at first I was like, well, in January, well, that was a blessing because, I was out of town for work, blah, blah. February, okay, that's when the medical stuff happened. So, you know what? I was tired, maybe, but then nothing in March and no signups in April, right? So far as I'm recording. And I was hella fucking confused. And I'm like, I'm ready. I want to do this. Now, on the flip side, I was getting more tarot readings, bookings, right? And those were a little bit easier because there didn't necessarily need to be live on the call. It could have been a recording. And the ones that were booked were quick 15 minutes, easy peasy. But I was still feeling down on myself on that. And then on top of that, I was like not pushing content. I felt like I was getting behind in the classes that I'm taking. Um, I felt like my work was piling up. I was just exhausted mentally and almost like spiritually drained. And I wasn't really reaching out to my spiritual community as much as I should have. And then it hit me where I thought, you know what? I'm not even doing my spiritual practice for me. I I keep pouring from my cup, but I'm not refilling it. And then when I don't have anything in my cup, I'm mad at myself because I'm not giving more, but I have nothing left. Like it, there's nothing left in my cup to give. So how can people really flock towards my energy if I'm depleted? Right? And that's how I have the universe work for me. Even though it made me feel kind of down, I felt a little, mwah, mwah. In all honesty, would I have been able to give? Now, at that time, I was like, yes, because then I could set it in my schedule, take the time, breathe, and do the Reiki meditations, right? Make content, whatever. But I had gone off where I had said if I book for the first Wednesday, 7 p.m., and there's no bookings, I should be either doing meditation for myself or recording the meditation anyway. And I wasn't doing that. So I was really depleting myself, and yes, I was exhausted. Yes, I allowed myself time to just rot on the sofa for at least that hour instead. But that didn't help me in the long run. And so I started getting into the routine of just crashing on the sofa, whatever. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm fed up. I was pissed. And that is when I was like, what am I doing? And as I was thinking about my podcast, I was like, okay, well, when would be a perfect time to log in? When would be the perfect time to launch season two and get the all of the recordings ready and record myself and do some big drop in. What is this? What am I doing to myself? There's nowhere that says that a podcast should be this long each episode, this many episodes per season, and this is the best time to start. The hell? No. It dawned on me like you can literally start whenever the hell you want. And you can talk about anything you want because this is your podcast. Now, I am very hard on myself because I want it to be perfect. Perfectionism, right? Who else out there? Don't lie to me. If you suffer from perfectionism, that is what keeps you at the damn crossroads. You know what moved my ass today? Holy shit, I have it recorded and I'm about to get charged. Ain't nobody got time for just all these extra charges here and there willy-nilly. I'm sorry, I don't. And it may not seem like a lot, but for me, I'm like, hail to the no. Am I gonna let that fee just go because I didn't record and post? But I had been wanting to. I just didn't have the ganas to do it. I didn't have the energy to do it. There was always an excuse. But that's what keeps you at the crossroads, my gorgeous soul. The excuses, I'm too tired. I don't have the energy today. What am I going to talk about? I haven't, been posting about myself. No one's going to listen. Whatever. Blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, there's those excuses are still excuses as beautiful as they are. Of course, no one wants to, you're not going to do a tarot reading if you feel depleted, but instead you should be taking care of yourself. And if you've been really hard on yourself, if you feel that the energy was just heavy and it feels like you're dragging, yourself through like thick, muddy muck that's just clinging to your ankles. Now's the time to stop and reset and think, okay, why is my energy so depleted? Is someone or a situation sucking that energy from me, or am I giving out that my energy when I should be calling it back? And sometimes that's, saying no when you automatically always say yes. Vice versa. If you're always like, no, I'm too tired, say yes. My husband dragged me out of the house today and we went to go eat Thai food, and it felt good to not only leave this house when I had to go to work or take care of a family member. I actually went out and enjoyed a meal without feeling guilty. And I had the most wonderful time, you know? Sometimes it takes when, it's I don't have to get ready, put my makeup on, do my hair, but then when you're out, it's like, okay, here it is. Same thing. If you feel you've fallen off your spiritual practice, that's okay. That's what happens. The spiritual practice is always going to be there. So now we have to look at it from a different lens. So for myself, you know what? Hell yeah, I'm gonna make some moon water. That's always been my thing. I love to do it because it's fucking easy. Like literally just fill up a mason jar with water, set it on the windowsill, and it's good to go. And I'm gonna use that water in my coffee the next day as I like bring in intention. And I was, stirring my intentions in my coffee, but then it started becoming just mumbles instead of me focusing. So those are just little things that I started to pick up. And honestly, give yourself so much love because life is so hard right now. It's so hard right now in 2025, and it shouldn't be this hard and it shouldn't be this scary. Especially because, I live in the States. But now is the time that we reach out for one another. I'm part of another year of Reiki, because I love the community and I love my Reiki master, and I'm still learning. I felt like I still had some learning to do on certain things. And we have little pods, like little groups. And this second group, I was like, I'm leading this group because now I feel like we really need each other, because the common thing that everyone was saying is, I just feel so heavy. I feel the muckiness. I feel like I'm behind. All of that. So sometimes it helps, one, not to feel so alone when someone else reaches out and says, Girl, me too. I've been going through it. Let's let's meet tomorrow, like, I don't know, on Instagram, and let's just take like 5 deep breaths together and then set our day. So know that you're not alone. We all fall off our practice. That is okay. Allow yourself that time, because when you're ready, when you get that gentle nudge or push, when you come back into it, you're going to feel so grounded. You're going to feel so replenished. You're going to feel that weight literally taken off of your shoulders, because it wasn't something that you felt you had to do. It was something that you were longing to do. You want to do this. I want to do this podcast. I want to pull cards for you. I want to send you Reiki and guide you through Reiki meditation. I want to connect with you with whatever questions you have or ideas for topics for me to talk about. Y'all have so much to say and to give and bring to this world. Don't let imposter syndrome stop you. I let it. I let years and years go by because I allowed that. Until one day, sometimes it's just, I don't know, the straw that broke the camel's back. It's something that someone says that you're just like, enough. Or you just wake up and literally, I remember waking up and going through my day, and I wish I knew what day it was and what time, because I was around after, early evening, afternoon. I literally stopped what I was doing in my old residence and just was looking around, and I thought, what the fuck am I doing right now? Who am I? And not like, who am I? No, like, ugh, what is this? Where am I? Almost like I was unplugged from the Matrix. Sidebar right now, it has come to my attention that now that when I mention the Matrix, I'm kind of dating myself, because how do the younger generations not know what the Matrix is? So if you're listening to this right now and you've never seen the Matrix, I want you to put this podcast on pause and go put it on your Netflix to watch and come back. So that's what I felt. I felt like I was being unplugged from the Matrix, except at that time, I started getting really angry and I allowed my ego to get in the way. But nonetheless, it's like I don't want to say like I woke up. I had this sudden realization that I was just suppressing myself for others. So it doesn't matter how long you haven't been practicing. It doesn't matter if this is your very first episode and you just saw, oh, what is this all about? What about your practice? Falling off your practice, or you're new to the practice. This is just the time for yourself. This is me telling you, gorgeous soul, you're not alone. This is me telling you whether it's me or this is a sign from the universe you have been wanting, whether I say, you know, 111, 222, 333, 777, diamond, owl, whatever, right? Because some of us have different, if I see this, that's what this means, right? Purple butterfly, lemonade, clouds in the sky, swords. But the message is one, you are enough. And two, abundance is your birthright. You are not alone in this. And you can pick up and pause your practice whenever you need to. It's okay to take a break off social media. It's okay to maybe not feel forced to make moon water every month, okay? Maybe you find something different that sparks your interest. Whatever it is, it's okay to take a break and then come back later if that's what you feel your soul needs. You need to feel grounded and safe and secure. That's that root chakra. So here I am. I had no plans for this podcast. Well, I shouldn't say that. I did have, I have a bunch of notes, but this was just, this is what we're doing. And you know what? Yes, because I needed a balance. I was ready just to stay curled on my couch. I'm starting a new book. And then it just hit me. And what time was it? It was like 8. It just hit me like, oh shit. I'm going to get charged and I haven't even recorded. And I've been wanting to, right? It's not like, oh my God, I'm going to get charged. I don't want to lose out on this money. I haven't recorded, da da da. Da. It's like, hello, you already had plans to record this weekend. Why do you keep saying, I'll do it tomorrow? I'll do it in 2 hours. Those are my excuses. So that's my procrastination. And the universe knows I've been trying my best not to be a procrastinator. So here I am, Ace of Pentacles energy with that Queen of Pentacles energy. And I feel like we're all that star. We're coming out from the tower moment. It shook us to our core. But you know what? We're going to start refilling our cup as you listen to this. As you listen to this right now, I want you to refill your cup. Maybe that's taking another deep breath with me. Ready? Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Drop the shoulders. Maybe it's when you take your shower, your bath, you really feel that water cleansing away negative and stagnant energy. Maybe instead of, yeah, I'll journal tomorrow, you get your journal right now and just write, I don't know, 2 sentences in it. I am enough. And if I needed that break from journaling, that's okay. And I'm starting right now. So that's my message. What a way to start season 2. I have a bunch of episodes ready to go. Thank you to those that reached out. One to say, congratulations on 1K. I was really, I knew we were gonna do it. I just knew it. But so many exciting things that you all brought up that you want to hear for this season. And just as a refresher, don't forget all the links in the show notes. You can get a hold of me. There's a quick little form there if you have an idea or you have a story you want to share, jot it down there and do it right now. Don't do it tomorrow. All right, gorgeous soul. Until next time, I will see you at the crossroads.